Welcome back to the 2025 Dodgeball Canada Club Championships. Day 2 of 3. We're still in round robin. We're watching the women's division here. On the near end, Kaffeine and Co. On the far end, Hyper. Hyper out of BC, then the number 1 team, and then number 1 QC Quebec. Bienvenue. So what's very cool about this match is it was a playoff match in 2024 Nationals. These two teams, friendly competitors, would have seen each other at the Thing, a tune-up event before now as they send two, and first target hits Cynthia Lee on the left wing. Taking out Galani. Big shot. It's right, that is a limbed. So 5v5. As we said, Hyper out of British Columbia. 4 years of playing together. At the Thing, they won bronze as co-captain Ria Leaf is eliminated by the Paris Jourdouin hits. Love talking about her. She's got a wicked fastball. Stays alive on a Lily Lau throw. Teammates Steph Fields and Priscilla Lee. I believe that is Janice So. Meanwhile, Jobin Ross is eliminated. Mira Duarte, new to Kaffeine and Co. Captain Corinne Biron does not send it. It's Duarte that does. Leanne Wilson, number 18, hanging back. We'll talk about more teammates as they make it on court with a big catch. Cynthia Lee, hard throwing, but right onto the hips. Bringing back Jana Galani. 2v5. Hard throw countering outfield. Now 1v4. So on her own, sends one. Connects on her throw and doesn't get countered. And I'm now joined by Michael White.
How's it going?
Oh, great.
Excited to watch this match, actually. I haven't been able to see Hyper play so far through the tournament.
Yeah, and a good 2-ball attack puts the first point on the board.
So a pretty commanding win from Kaffeine & Co.
Yeah, steady, key catch, putting some dominance so far. And one thing I noted is in the playoff bracket in 2024 Nationals, Kaffeine and Co. played Hyper, and so it was kind of the end of the tournament for Hyper. Hyper's made some key pickups in 2025 and won provincials for the first time. Duarte, a key pickup for Kaffeine and Co. Shots fired back and forth, no limbs.
Hyper looking to be aggressive on that back line.
Ready, set, they deliver. Leaf, wow. Did not want to get smacked in the face there. That late reaction just somehow got out of the way.
Sometimes you don't know just how good you can dodge.
Elche throw in between targets. Leafs was not. Biron thinking about it. Counterattack's going nuts right now. Jourdouin getting clipped there. Some greedy fingers. Wilson now taking the wing. 5 players on Hyper. They've got the player advantage. And so they're burdened to throw. Solo throw, misses. Counter also missing.
All right, Hyper taking the front line now. With only 3 balls, able to throw one down the middle. Kaffeine & Co. not really doing much on the back line to kind of disrupt what Hyper's trying to do here. But now they have 4, they can respond.
And watch that sneaky throw, and she sends it. Lonnie there. This does an interesting kind of like a shoulder drop.
Yeah,
before sending it.
It's an interesting way of throwing the ball. I've been noticing a lot of that this weekend. Duarte doing well to cover a teammate in that transition.
One on target, good. Hopping out of the way, Lily Lau.
Hyper back in control with 3 balls. Grounded just in front of number 6 on the right. Kaffeine just making themselves small on the back line. Not doing too much to try to disrupt Hyper, but surviving.
4 balls, 2 hard target. They're getting nice and low. Play call now with the burden on Kaffeine and Co. As Field is eliminated.
Yeah, Hyper a little bit relaxed there on the back line. They have 5 players. They had 3 balls, but they didn't do much to prevent Duarte from just throwing where she wanted to there.
And you actually just answered what I was going to say here. It's like, what do we want to see from Hyper to continue to close it out? As Kaffeine and Co. 2 players, 2 balls apiece.
Well,
Wilson crossing.
I think Hyper opened the set extremely aggressive. They were doing a great job both on offense and defense, using that rush off the back line both as defense and offense. That really kind of put them in the position they're in now. And now that they've kind of relaxed, Kaffeine and Co. has been able to sort of climb back into this.
While we say that, they put 2 right on target, taking out Wilson. Duarte, member of Team Canada squad. Opposite cloth player, Lily Lau. Janice So's been a member, a great throw, Pelche, member of Team Canada squad as well. Janice So, member of the Hong Kong squad.
Duarte a little early to jump there. She kind of knew it as soon as she went up, just kind of laughed midair and got clipped for it. I imagine Kaffeine and Co.'s pretty confident when Duarte in a 1-on-3 there. It's not necessarily ideal, but if anyone's going to be left on the court, I think they probably want Duarte to be in.
Absolutely.
Another explosive rush here coming in from Hyper. Oh, just missed on the feed.
Hey, and no damage done though. Like, that's one advantage when you're like, hey, this didn't work out. She kept eyes forward.
Absolutely. And Kaffeine and Co. not trying to really beat Hyper on the rush, but just survive.
Pelche's throw in between targets. She's targeted herself by B-Ron. No elimination. Swapping up co-captains. So looks like the play caller says Lee go, and the preemptive strike, the Paris-Jourdain wing-on-wing violence there.
Yeah, Paris-Jourdain just very passive on the back line there and just deciding to take that rip in a flash of a moment. Very well executed and placed throw, almost duplicating it there.
You can see why. Lethal. She's loaded up again. B-Ron protecting her. Big throw. And was that 2?
I think so.
That ball slapped 2 players. Like, it intentionally moved from one another. That was not a ricochet. That was like lethal intention of that throw.
Yeah, I mean, right into the screen space, I think, is where she was aiming, and it was able to clip Charmaine Joyce's shoulder, and then ricochet off the shoulder into, I believe that was Sue.
Boy, that was perfectly placed. You saw, we had the same angle of Paris-Jourdain. She just let it rip as they were kind of bumping into one another.
Well, yeah, just saw the opportunity. The moment that Charmaine looked down, Garcia, she saw the opportunity and just let the ball go. She was poised and ready as soon as they were on the retreat.
Interesting moment, because like they're center court. Like, you know, you're in full display. Like, sometimes you see that when kind of upper right area. Big shot, good throws.
Hyper's adjustment looks to just be...
Biron brings it in. I love the power catches. And it's just you go in on it and you just stuff it.
Well, yeah, just meeting that aggression from Hyper just by posturing the body and going for that catch.
Big shot.
Really a demoralizing play there. Hyper was really trying to battle back with 3 players to this lineup from Kaffeine and Co. by being aggressive, but when something like that happens, it's really deflating. Now Riel has to really consider what she wants to do here.
Co-captain Leaf, a member of the mixed Canada squad, couple years running, has to share that ball, I believe, because the ball retriever might have put an illegal contact on it. Preemptive throw, getting nice and low, active ball blocking.
That's a great start. She's going to have to pace herself here, though. She's up against 5 players, so unless she intends to make a catch, she's going to have to work through this slow and steady.
3 balls in hand.
Kaffeine and Co. approaching on the weak side. Riel was looking at her. Recollecting themselves. Oh, and calling a hit. Oh, stepped out of bounds in that right corner. So Riel's got 2 of the 6 out now. She's working her way through. Not expending too much energy so far.
Send 1, send 2. She's ready to deliver.
Showing how survivable she is. She's a tough out.
Oh, this can be a long set. It's a 1-1 game so far. Plenty of time. Hard on target, right on the knee. Sends another. B-Ron getting out of the way.
I believe that's 3 for 3. I think she's hit on every one of her throws that she's taken so far. She's climbing through this 1v6. And again? Oh, no, wow.
Oh,
Just
God.
barely.
Yeah.
That was close.
We'll call that half a hit right there. That was beautiful. It doesn't leave herself exposed in the attack zone. Sends one. Biron, incredible flexibility. Good active blocking. Leaf. It's a tough one to do because you're falling back and it looks quite awkward, right? Like just to kind of poke it like that. And a timeout is called. You can just say like a shout out to Biron. Like one thing that you notice is like she can kind of sidestep and then shoulder too.
Yeah.
Just kind of for folks to remember, it's like one thing we never want to do is just to kind of spin on like we see kind of rookie players like they just kind of they don't move at all technically. They think they're moving by spinning, but like having that shoulder pull back, take the side step.
Yeah, people commonly talk about like making yourself small, and that's one of the skill sets, like shrinking yourself vertically. But you can also effectively shrink yourself just by turning your body that way. It just has to be calculated because you're sacrificing the opportunity to go for the catch. If you're not square to the catch, it's going to be a lot more difficult. But you can prioritize the dodge and survivability by basically shrinking yourself in half horizontally.
1v3, couple minutes still to go in this first half. Leaf requesting the ball. She gets it. Straight on. Hits the ball retriever.
Yeah.
Jobin Ross.
It's quite the sound. Ball retriever a little bit further back, but that clapped.
And they send 1, 2, 3, and look at the lift on Leaf. Whoop, sending it us.
A little too ready to go there. So we have to reset with 4 balls. Throw's still going to be on her. Kaffeine & Co. back on defense.
Play call, Biron on defense. Jobin Ross readies. Set. 2 attack. Double ball block.
Kaffeine & Co. kind of showing their frustration with trying to hit Riel here. They're willing to throw all balls. Fortunate to get 2 back, even just the 1, really.
It's one thing with that 2-ball defense. They're likely to boop it back. She sends it, no greedy fingers. Getting tired probably, but Riel Leaf all-day endurance. Tough for a 2-day tournament though. And the fingers get her this time. Crucial point potentially here. Let's see what roster changes might happen. Charmaine Garcia on courts. Jenna So, Fields, Alyssa Wright back on. Okay, and Boissana joining.
Approaching the end of the second half here, about a minute to go. Hyper coming out with an aggressive rush again. Kaffeine & Co. quicker on the feed, able to take out number 77.
Steph Field is eliminated. Burden to throw because of the extra player will be on Kaffeine & Co. Between the wickets, pressure from right. Jobin Ross, Paris Jodouin looking her down. Burden to throw, Hyper, Pelche, solo throw. No connections.
Hyper with 3 balls on defense here. I'll be curious to see if they're a little more aggressive on that back line.
Big rip.
Wow.
I love that fastball from Paris Jodouin. Tough to be an opposing winger as Pelche, co-captain, takes that spot from right. 4 players at the attack zone. Hard throw again.
Wow.
You do not want to be opposing. And it's just a solid fastball at them.
Yeah, she's got like an interesting finishing touch. She almost like hooks her wrist around the ball, so she kind of builds up to a climax point, and then she's really like whipping her wrist through the end of her throw. She's really emphasizing the speed that she's getting from her release point.
Meanwhile, Cynthia Lee, she's got a gun too.
Another one.
Just do not line up in that spot. Ooh, soft and safe is, and then we're at the end of the first half as Lee sends a couple. No connections. She's joined by Charmaine Garcia.
Yeah, high potential for a comeback here. No Black may very well work in the favor of Charmaine Garcia and Cynthia Lee over there.
Although we have a full court of Kaffeine & Co.
It would certainly be an uphill climb, but Cynthia Lee is no stranger to hitting people. Capable catcher as well.
Also a member of Team Canada.
She can't yeah, absolutely. She can't overextend herself here though, but she's complemented by Charmaine, who's a very capable defensive wing. Oh wow.
Let's see, Garcia alone gets the full court. Expect a hail of bullets. There's one, and that was first one was good. Mira Duarte getting the points for her team. And we are at the half. We're still in round robin, so the game clock continues to go. Team is ready for some high fives. Lots of good vibes.
Yeah, Kaffeine & Co. just kind of proving to be too much of an offensive force for that 2-on-6. They look pretty commanding in their ability to throw and hit. Saw Paris-Jodoin just working that left corner, getting 3 consecutive outs. I think Hyper's going to have to do something to respond to that. It may just be a simple adjustment as far as survivability goes. When you're up against an opponent like that, somebody that aggressive, that capable of throwing a fastball that you're not prepared for, you need to lean more into lateral movement, less so vertical jumping, airborne dodges, and or shrinking and trying to block. It's very difficult to react quickly enough to protect yourself. So use that lateral motion to kind of get yourself away from the throw, make it difficult for you to be targeted. It may feel like gambling, but that's kind of the nature of what dodging is. You're really just trying to condition your opponent into thinking you're going one way and then go the other.
A little bit more about Hyper. They were second provincially 2022, 2023, and 2024. Wow. So that gold medal finish in 2025 will feel pretty sweet. Hoping for their best performance here at the Dodgeball Canada Club Championships. And so what's really fantastic about them is they have several MVP recipients. So Cynthia Lee, when she was at Worlds, so Riel Leaf has won MVP. So this is like top tier talent that we're seeing.
Absolutely. Hyper's a very well built team, and they really kind of focus in on how to improve as a team. We're seeing some of that teamwork kind of unfold throughout the first half of this match. They're really aggressive off that back line, using that to their advantage both defensively and offensively. It's very calculated.
Lily Lau now on that right wing. So let's see how many Paris-Jodoin fastballs she gets. No, she was doing opening rush, so Wright's taking that spot. So, thankless work as we see yet again. You'd almost want to do some shadow work just to like, how do we defend against the heat that is coming from the left wing of Kaffeine & Co. It is a wake-up pill for sure.
And she's doing it post the offensive throw from Hyper. In that case, they're opting to stagger their throws. That's one tactic in order to disrupt that counter. Throw one and then be prepared to throw your second one if they're trying to throw back at you.
Lau staying alive, slowing her team down, saying, hey, I think we have a lot of balls. I'm only seeing one opposing me. And so there should be a ball. And Cynthia Lee, without any action, happening, is out. And smartly, yeah, the heat's going back.
Yep. Oh, yeah, Hyper can certainly throw a ball, too. Is it going to be a question of who's disciplined enough to play efficiently here? Kaffeine & Co. fortunate to have a 2-point lead now, so they're not really under a lot of pressure. We're already under 10 minutes, under 9 minutes now.
As Boissonnet is eliminated, making it a 3.
With that in mind, we need to start considering our VC MVPs of the match. So we're at 3v3 here, so we might see a shining star kind of exert themselves to win this set. That's one.
Lau taking out Duarte. Field sharing with teammate, co-captain Leaf. Hard to not put her as a potential MVP for the match.
Well, yeah, unfortunate not to be able to win that 1v6, but she climbed halfway through it. Exactly. Honestly, that in itself was extremely impressive. She was working very hard to protect herself.
Wicked return. Good protection from Field. Not connecting this time. Watch out for Jobin Ross.
Yeah, risky aggression there from the Kaffeine side, but trusting their instincts, able to dodge after the fact.
So, Michael, do you want to say chaussure ballon?
Chaussure ballon?
The ballon, I need the ball.
I need the words.
Chaussure, like chase.
Oh, that's right there.
They do say dodgeball, but if you're like kind of looking for a literal translation, so we're now 1v3. Jobin Ross making a 2v1.
And Lau was putting in some great work on that corner too.
Big shot and a hit by Leaf.
Great follow.
Saying, if you need to see my CV for a potential MVP, here's some amazing action. Bringing it 3-2, reminding us of 2-point lead is tough when you've got so much time left. And Jill Brooks, number 11 on court beside Janice O. Brooks ready to go, second half. Opening rush. Duarte tossing it back. Boissonnet hard on target. 2 out now. We're in that jersey number 11 is Brooks. So is eliminated. So let's see if there's a catch so that Jill can get some more playtime this set.
Who would you say is standing out on the
Parisha Douane, excuse me?
Oh, you're right. You're right. How did I forget?
Jobin Ross is eliminated. Delaney has been quiet so far this match. Someone I definitely suggest has been an MVP before. Big shot, Lee. Both left wings on these teams just can have the high heat. Dropping the hammer. 3v3. Twa. Burden to throw. Burden to throw on Hyper, being the last to throw. Field in the center with the play call, saying probably left Lee, and she does. And took too long to throw. The 10-second runoff happened.
Unfortunate. I appreciate that they were trying to feel out Kaffeine and Co. because they were pretty aggressive in their stance.
And sun's out, guns out. You better get ready for your gloves. And Lee is the victim of that one. Oh, she stayed alive. Lau on the right end got tagged. I had all my eyes on the hail of bullets at Lee, and she got low. 2 balls apiece now for the Hyper women. They ready, set, and deliver one right on target. Field taking out Bolsonaro. Ooh, on the fingers.
Great solo. These teams are swinging back and forth at each other. Hyper's under the gun here, though. They need this point.
Ooh. It was do, and now one. Sorry there. There we go. 2-ball block confirmed by the ref.
Yep.
You're good. So it's so tricky because the bounce. You're like, okay, did it go me, ground, me?
Yep, it's a second guess yourself. Field a very capable closer here. She's going to be very patient, but the clock is working against her.
With intimidating body armor.
Still got some time though. She doesn't.
And now you can vote for your VC player of the match as Duarte sends it right on target. Field hopping back. Might not have been in an ideal position. Sometimes what I love is if you ever watch Chris Valance on Hardest Foam, who doesn't, does a great fallback. And so it kind of seems like they're kind of falling onto their back, but it actually positions them well to receive a ball.
Yep. Absolutely posturing both for the potential to dodge if the ball goes high, but potential to catch if it comes at your body.
Field, set, right, sends it, and was that control of the ball? So it was, as Wright sends it so strong it pushes Parisha Douane off court, but not before she demonstrated control.
Hyper likely appreciating that out. Not having to deal with Parisha Douane through the majority of this set will be valuable. They need this point. We're coming down under 4 minutes now.
Well, and something I believe we've talked about before is like an evolving part of the opening rush. And there was an opportunity there for Hyper to kind of own the attack zone a little bit longer and have that secondary attack. That's something I'll be looking for more this tournament is, you can win that initial point of contact for opening rush. But what are you doing from there and turning into a chess match?
Exactly, because it's a natural response, right? Like some of these teams will have the advantage on the rush. There's nothing you can really do about that. You have as much speed as you have, and they have as much speed as they have. And if they have more speed, you're going to have to do something in response to that rather than just accept the disadvantage. We're starting to see some creativity from teams in that way.
Great blocking, Boissonnet unable to hold up against Lau.
Hyper collectively just rushing off of that back line. They've had some great effect throughout this match doing that. They're in a 4v4 right now, though. They can't be too aggressive. If they make a mistake, it's going to be costly.
4v4, you say. Field with the play call, I believe, calling her own number. Who's she going to throw it? She's right on target on Duarte. Nasty throw. It was like aiming for the back, and somehow it just like, you could see Duarte trying to get away from it, but could not.
Yeah, testament to the pressure that Hyper's putting on. They're really forcing attention and forcing a reaction from Kaffeine and Co. And that's allowing their players to kind of place their shot. That throw from Field was perfect.
Field again, Biron getting low, but notice the steady quiet now because they know they've got the time advantage as Kaffeine and Co. 2 balls in hand for Biron. So I'd be very surprised, and it didn't happen, if we're going to see that much attacking. And boy, oh boy, a risky move, and so hiding in the shadows brings back co-captain Leaf. so with the play call, even though she doesn't have the ball in hand. Big rip Leaf, fresh arm. Galani trying to be sneaky, but it's really hard to kind of get Leaf unawares. Even if she was unaware, she just kind of has this kind of Princess Pete's ability to float. We're also aging ourselves by referring to like Super Nintendo.
Oh, I appreciate the daily reference, very much so.
Good spin on the Galani throw. Keeps eyes up. Lau providing pressure. 2 balls in hand for Galani. Reddy's on defense. Maybe counterattack, but Biron is tagged. So pace matters still here. If you're Hyper, lots of players, but if Galani plays out the clock, it's another way to, timeout.
No timeout. We got a little over a minute left on the clock. It's like a minute 15. This is a great representation of one of the challenges that this rule set poses. You've got the clock working against you. Hyper's within reach of tying this match. If they can win this point, and potentially even, if they can close this point, they get time in to potentially take one more, so they could technically go for the win. It's very unlikely that you win this next game that
most
quickly.
Likely we're going into 4-3.
Absolutely.
And then a tie just is a fundamental. And they've had a few ties so far this tournament.
Yeah, and so Kaffeine and Co. is in the position of how difficult can we be? How long can we survive? And what Hyper has to do is figure out how to get around a protective blocker in that corner. Spreading out their throws, staggering their throws potentially will help with that. If they're just going to constantly take 2 balls and throw to maintain 2 on defense, this could take a while. So I'm curious to see how effective they can be coming out of this timeout.
And we're absolutely going to be expecting a fastball from Cynthia Lee on the left here. What you want is, like, ideally So has a different kind of throw style. Lee trying to kind of get it up and away. Hopefully some exposure that happened right there for the Galani throw.
Great
just
throw.
Rips. Hey, next. Galani staying alive. Okay. I wonder who else heard that, but wow, the spin. We got to see that spin rate on Galani's throw perfectly. I'm so curious how much that got caught by the camera. That was pretty cool to watch,
And that's kind of how she hit Leaf in that previous throw as well. She's using that distance to her advantage by getting some movement.
Lee saying, let's take it into second half blocking.
I mean, that's an effective way to take a player out. I'm surprised that Kaffeine & Co. was willing to take those shots. They really had no reason to. They could have taken their time, but allowing Hyper to end that set. So now we're going into a potential tiebreaker, or not tiebreaker, a potential for Hyper to tie the match. Kaffeine looking to close the win.
Did we write down Lee as one of your potential MVPs?
I didn't. She wasn't doing a whole lot. She was struggling to survive early.
Lee putting on a revenge match.
My first thought was, man, should we be nominating Lee? It feels like we always nominate Lee. But
that's why he went! Oh my goodness! Show control, catch is good. Leaf limbed. Oh, does she get to? I don't think she would.
There was a second catch made, apparently.
Wow. And smartly, Paris Jordan is targeted. Poissonette stays alive. Good player advantage for Kaffeine & Co. Despite the heroics on the Hyper end.
Yeah, I clearly missed something in that exchange. Following Lee making that catch.
Oh man, celebrations galore here. We might not be seeing a tie. We are at the end of time here. No blocking. Slowing it down. Kaffeine & Co. making sure that they don't get the jitters.
Yeah, So is not the player to count out here, though. She's very capable of making a catch.
As demonstrated with that rip right there. Duarte trying for it. Hail of bullets. Makes it 5-3. Congratulations, Kaffeine & Co.
Great attempt there at the end. I love to see that pushback from Hyper. All right, so we're looking at our next matchup here shortly. I'll be running off to ref in a moment. Let's see here. All right, we're looking at Fury and Apex coming up. I have yet to see Apex play throughout this tournament. Fury is a pretty aggressive team. I suppose living up to their name. We've got, following that match, Future versus Mavericks coming up. That'll be a big one. I would recommend tuning in for that. That should be a lot of intense counterplay. Not a whole lot left today through the round robin. I believe the total is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 matches left today in the round robin. And then we're in pool play, I should say. And then we'll be advancing into the early stages of the bracket, starting around 2:25.
I felt really good. I'm sure if you follow Dodgeball, we were in Seattle a couple weeks back, and Hyper did manage to make a very big comeback. So we came into this quite prepared. Yeah.
And you're not new to the dodgeball scene, but new to the team. How does it feel to be at Kaffeine & Co.? Because do you know, in playoffs, Kaffeine & Co. ended things for Hyper.
Yeah, so it feels really good. I mean, I come from Rogue. It's a different game style, so just the gameplay is overall different. The strengths are very different as well, but I feel like the girls complement each other very well, so yeah.
And good vibes or something.
Good vibes, yes. We're staying at the same Airbnb, which is the first. Does help. But I feel like team chemistry when we're locked in is very good. So I feel like we have a really good chance.
Any shout-outs?
I do want to give a shout out to Cassandra, our big arm. Yes, big arm. I did play against her at the kickoff, and I don't want to do that again. So I'm glad to be in Kaffeine. Yeah, I do want to give a shout out to Cynthia and Riel. Your daughter's amazing. Very hard to play against, and former TC member. So yeah.
Merci beaucoup.
Yeah, merci.